have been discovered just north of New Guinea, in the Bismarck Archipelago. From here, archaeologists have traced the route of an early seafaring people who traveled eastward across 1,500 miles of open ocean, settling widely scattered islands, arriving in Fiji, Tonga, and Samoa more than 3,000 years ago.
One of the interesting things is the support that the pottery analysis receives from the other kinds of materials that were exchanged between the various Lapita communities. Things like glitter, which is used probably for some kind of body paint, the volcanic glass or obsidian, which is used for knives and scrapers and other tools, cutting tools, and then the chert, which is also used in a similar way. Now, the one that we know the most about amongst these is the obsidian. And for instance, we know this obsidian came from the islands offshore of New Guinea in the Bismarck Archipelago. And over 700 years, it was imported out to the Solomon Islands some 1,000 miles away. Now, you really can't have people importing obsidian for 700 years over 1,000 miles without crediting them as being very skillful navigators and sailors.
Evidence is now overwhelming that the Polynesians were voyagers against wind and wave. But today, the Micronesians are the only people who build and sail voyaging canoes. The Satu'ali's canoe is a supreme technological achievement. Its narrow asymmetrical hull is shaped to offset the drag of the outrigger, so the canoe always sails in a straight line. These craft, called flying proas, are designed to sail with their outriggers toward the wind. To change direction, the entire sail is moved from one end of the canoe to the other. The design of the proa has been perfected over 3,000 years. Only a few men master the intricate art of making such canoes. Ikagun holds the title of Senap, Master Canoe Builder. Adzes are used to carve the bow from a breadfruit log. Ikagun uses no blueprints. Over the years, he has memorized the canoe's complex shapes. When it is finished, the bow will be taken to a canoe house to dry. There are 8 canoe houses on Satawal. Each is a men's social club, school, and workshop. Everything needed to make a canoe is harvested on Satawal. Rope is made from coconut fibers. Coconut husks separate into fine strands called senet. Senet rope is coarse and binds on itself to make good lashings for canoes. Breadfruit sap, warmed by fire, will make the seams of the canoe watertight. The flexible outer husk of a coconut provides ideal caulking between planks. Each plank has been carved to an exact shape. Wedges and palm fronds hold the planks in place until the breadfruit sap has had time to set. Two weeks later, the canoe is almost finished, and the temporary lashings are replaced with senet rope. Canoes have been built this way for centuries, throughout the Pacific. These same skills are now being uncovered by archaeologists on an island 4,000 miles to the east of Satawal. On the Tahitian island of Huahine, Yoshi Sonoto from the Bishop Museum has made a remarkable discovery. 2 planks from an ancient voyaging canoe. Buried for 1,100 years, these are the only pieces of an ancient canoe known to exist today. At one end of the planks, Sonoto finds evidence of lashings. This canoe was held together with senet rope, just like the canoes on Satawal. In 850 AD, a tidal wave inundated this site, burying hundreds of objects in a protective layer of mud.
Yoshi!
What did you find?
Another hook.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Nice, huh?
Yeah, that's foam.
Early.
Yeah,
It's a lot like the other ones we've been finding.
yeah. Just like early Marquesan one. You see that curved shank and the notch inside?
More than 200 fish hooks have been found. This one was used for catching small reef fish. This pearl shell coconut grater is shaped like those used on Satawal today. This is a pendant an insignia of rank possibly worn by a chief. So many pearl shell artifacts have been found at Huahine that Sonoto now believes the site was a village where goods were manufactured for trade. In another part of the village, the archaeologists discovered a spirit stone, part of a temple, Omarai. Here the men of Huahine performed rituals prior to departing on a voyage.
34 centimeters wide. Okay, let's measure the entire length.
One last wooden artifact suggests the size of their canoes. 13 feet long. This was a steering paddle for an 80-foot canoe.
Okay, the total length is 3 meters and 88 centimeters. And now this is not a complete paddle, is it?
I don't think so, because you can see many, as cut marks and very roughly outlined. So not well finished. The people are making or manufacturing paddle here, which means that the canoe also.
Right, right.
Haramaru. Okay?
1,300 years ago, the people of Huahine fashioned this plank for a large voyaging canoe.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, aparo mai tayo? Ahoy, aparo. Hey. Hey.
Such canoes would have carried the Polynesians on epic voyages of colonization to the furthest reaches of the Pacific. Polynesia was settled in a vast ocean migration, which began when the Lapita people arrived in Fiji, Tonga, and Samoa more than 3,000 years ago. At about the time of Christ, they swept eastward into the heart of Polynesia. From here, they launched their longest and most difficult voyages of exploration to New Zealand, Easter Island, and Hawaii. More than 15 centuries before Captain Cook, a Polynesian canoe made landfall in the Hawaiian Islands. This is the Halava Valley on Molokai. 10 years ago, archaeologists found traces of an ancient Hawaiian village on this site. Now overgrown with vegetation, this was home for the island's first settlers. Bishop Museum archaeologist Dr. Patrick Kirch.
About 600 AD, a group of early Polynesians arrived here in the Halawa Valley on East Molokai. Now they found in this valley just the kind of environment they might have been searching for. Ample fresh water, lowlands where they could cultivate their taro, gentle valley slopes where they could farm sweet potato and other dry crops, and along the coastline out into the bay, an ample supply of shellfish and fish. I excavated right here in this low mound and found the remains of their early settlement site. From patterns of post molds and stone alignments, I could tell that they lived in small, round-ended huts, and scattered in amongst the huts were stone adzes, fish hooks, coral files, ornaments in shell and bone, and the styles of these artifacts were similar to those which had been found in Tahiti, the Marquesas, and other islands to the south. I also found here bones of dogs, pigs, and chickens. This is interesting because it suggests to me that these people came here on a purposeful voyage of colonization. What's so interesting about the Halawa Valley is it serves as a kind of microcosm for the development of Hawaiian society from initial settlement right up through the evolution of complex chiefdoms.
Seduced by their island's abundant resources, the Hawaiians gave up their voyaging and began farming the rich valley slopes. In each valley, chiefs rose to power. They fought each other for control of entire islands. Great temples celebrate their conquests and their gods. In the final centuries before Captain Cook's arrival, the chiefs of Hawaii waged frequent warfare.
This is a dwelling cave here in Kona, which was also used as a refuge in times of war. The site is unique because of the stick figures or petroglyphs, which the commoners who lived here pecked into the glassy lava walls of the cave. Here we have a human figure with a canoe paddle raised above his head. Here's a similar human figure. Again, he holds a canoe paddle above his head. This looks like a fishhook. It's interesting to speculate that much of the development in Hawaiian society came originally out of the nature of long-distance voyaging. The navigator-in-chief had to have unquestioned authority if the voyage was to succeed. The crew who were with him had to believe that he would lead them to a new land. And so I think it's possible to say that much of the development of powerful chiefdoms in Hawaii came originally out of the society of the canoe.
In 1976, the Society of the Canoe is reborn. Hokule'a is an exact replica of a Polynesian voyaging canoe.
This just will be at the front of your halyard. Great. The halyard up. Yeah.
Built with modern materials, her design is ancient. Hokule'a will sail between Hawaii and Tahiti to celebrate the age-old skills of Polynesian canoe builders and navigators. The canoe carries a crew of 17 and 6 tons of supplies. Hokule'a's voyage will be made as it was 1,000 years ago, without maps or instruments. She will be guided by Mau Piailuk.
Yeah, maybe.
David Lewis, a Western navigator and scholar, has joined the expedition to learn Mau's way of navigating. The passage is 2,500 miles, far longer than any Mau has made, and he is sailing in unfamiliar waters.
The first few days I was afraid, but I've been through all this before. I've sailed at sea for many nights, and I've survived many storms. So I put aside my fears, and I was happy to be at sea again.
As the sea miles slip by, the Hawaiian crew gain a new respect for their Polynesian ancestors.
The Polynesians used to navigate the way we do today, without instruments or charts. They had faith in the words of their fathers. This is what we call courage. With this courage, you can travel anywhere in the world and never be lost. Because I have faith in the words of my ancestors, I am a navigator. I learned these words as a young boy in my father's canoe house.
On Sandoval, Mau passes on these teachings to a new generation of navigators. Mau begins with the simplest framework, what we might think of as a star compass. 32 lumps of coral represent the rising and setting points of stars. The compass is oriented to the east. The rising of a star called Milap, the big bird.
Milap, Payufang, Wood, Margar, Learn. Yele, Nalipai Simefang. Equidic, Woodler, Telmerberfang, or Wood Fishman. Hina, our Pangri, Earth, Rue, and Fan, Name, on Fish. Fish File, Lepetal, Maina Penimer, or Wunda. He put a pig in a parina. What a fish five? What a fish five? Pig in Maina Permer, Rapayer, Elion, Sarapod, Tumur, Misaru, Taluk, Metzemes. No report Monagay.
Mao's compass is defined by the rising and setting points of stars. Milap always rises to the east of Satawal and sets in the west to define 2 compass points. Mul rises in the northeast and sets in the northwest. This is Tumor. The stars of the constellation we call Southern Cross always point south. The axis of the Earth's rotation points at the star that never moves, Wulawulafang, the North Star. Mao's star compass is a simple teaching device. The nighttime sky is actually far more complex. In June, the stars move across the eastern sky like this. Tumor is rising and can be used to steer a canoe to the southeast. By midnight, Tumor has risen too high above the horizon, so Mao will steer by another star, which appears later in the same place. 6 stars follow the same path as Tumor. Each compass point is defined by many stars. In all, Mao has memorized the paths of more than 150. After 20 days at sea, Hokule'a nears the equator. Tahiti lies 1,400 miles away, and Mao steers toward the rising Tumor.
And now, which course are we steering now?
About Tumor.
Oh, Tumor.
Yeah.
Oh, better. So that's about southeast.
Southeast, yeah, yes.
Tumor is where Antares, the star Antares, we call.
Oh, then
when he rises.
Yeah.
We see him later on tonight.
1,000 miles from Tahiti, Hokule'a encounters heavy seas. For 8 days and nights, clouds obscure the sky, and Mao is denied even a glimpse of his guiding stars. He maintains his course by relying on other signs.
and the team fermer. Noy, el sul ferragadi, and ferrangariwai. Ferroto. Torong faitan. Narugino, el sul ferragadi. The torong ferroi noy, el sul torong, kusume support.
A skilled navigator senses every rising and falling of his canoe. Even when he cannot see the swells, he can set his course by them.
This wave, where is it coming from now?
From Madam?
From that's just north of east.
East.
Yes.
And another one from Mud, northeast.
Yes.
Another one from southeast.
So even at night you can feel the waves.
Yeah.
Hokule'a has now sailed more than 2,000 miles through changing ocean currents and shifting winds. Yet Mao always knows the direction and distance to Tahiti. Daily, he fixes Hokule'a's position by estimating course and speed, and all the other forces acting on the canoe. The map Mao sails exists only in his mind. Yet over 2,500 miles of ocean, his estimated positions are never more than 40 miles in error. On the 30th day at sea, he accurately predicts landfall within 24 hours. Mao's quest is fulfilled. He has brought ancient navigational skills back to Polynesian waters and reawakened a people's pride in their great voyaging heritage. Hokule'a's arrival was celebrated as a national holiday. 20,000 spectators crowded the shores to greet their heroic brothers.
The trip to Tahiti was very good because it will remind those people of what their ancestors did and make them want to learn about it. Our ancestors valued navigation as a source of pride. Children today are different. Some are afraid to learn navigation, and some are just lazy. Without navigators, Satawal will be abandoned. Everyone will move to bigger islands like Truk, Saipan, and Guam to look for jobs. Now only the old men, the men of my generation, love to navigate and want to see it continue.
Marcar social morphary car preparing. Parangan irma. Nenang netaer. Oh nenian ane. Eu kotane apa.
I don't know what will happen to my son-in-law. I think he will leave the island and take my daughter with him. Many of my sons have already gone. I gave them my blessings. My son-in-law went away to school. Many of the men of my crew have gone to school. I was sent away too, but when I came back, I continued to study navigation. I never lost interest. But most of the younger men who went away to school had no interest in navigation when they came back to Satawal. That's the reason I won't let my youngest son, Cesario, and Stan go away. I want them to stay here and learn as much as I can teach them before I die. They can go to school here, but not on any other island. I want them to stay here.
You get to school?
No, worker. You're
flaring?
Look.
I wanted to make this film because when the young people see it, they may begin to understand how important navigation is. I have already told them that if they don't study navigation, we will lose it forever. The film will make them think about what we are losing. That's why the film is important. Because I'm afraid that after my generation, there will be no more navigators.
Major funding for this program was provided by Pacific Resources.
In quality local programming.
Tonight on Island Music, Island Hearts, the Brothers Cazimeros.
This must be just like living in paradise, and I don't wanna go home. This must be just like living in paradise, and I don't wanna go with me to the islands. Come, my love, follow me. Under the lure of pure enchantment, love will unfold her golden mystery. This must be just like living in paradise, and I don't wanna go home. All night long I will hold you till the stars dip into the sea. I'll weave a crown of rainbows in your hair. Many a moon I'll spend. This must be just like living in paradise, and I don't wanna go home. Mala mala mahavai, yeah, 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 no kavika, o kahe ke a onahu, kawila makahikina, mala mahavai. Ia kalo no pele Kaneohe, ho'olohe ke kuini o palani e. Nā vai e kapua i luna e. No ka pa'a ke ano ka makua e. Ea, ea, ea. Ea, ea, ea. Nā vai kapua i luna ea. No ka pa'a ke a ka makua. Haina ia mai ka puana e hei no kalani ka vika hei no ala. Ea, ea, ea. Ea, ea, ea. Haina mai ka puana ea. Kalani ka vika hei no haina ho ka puana ea. Kalani ka vika hei noa. This must be just like living in paradise, and I don't wanna go home. This must be just like living in paradise, and I don't wanna go home. And I don't wanna go home. And I don't wanna go home.
I'm part of the brothers. My brother loves the ancient kahiko, and I do too. I do some research on Pele. I'm doing Kumulipa right now, and songs for Hawaii Loa. But I like taking the next step. I'm not afraid to take the next step, musically or whatever. And if I have to be the one to open the doors for the brothers, I will. You know, because I know when it's time to be pulled back, if somebody thinks I'm going too far, it'll be Robert. You know, save my skin.
When we first started playing music, although we had been brought up in what would be considered traditional chalang-lang Hawaiian backyard music, we were right there in the middle of the 60s, or the ending of the 60s into the 70s, and we liked the music that was going on. And so our style became known as a contemporary Hawaiian style. Through these 20 years, we've watched that explanation of our music explode and take on so many different facets that I think Roland and I and people from our time who perform Hawaiian music are in the same quandary that Hawaiian musicians who held on to the traditional ways in the 20 years ago perhaps looked at us like, will the real music of the land, not of Jamaica and not of America, the mainland, but will the real music of these islands be able to survive?
$4,000.
Stay right there. We'll be back with the 20th annual celebration of Hawaii Stars of Distinction on the star-studded 1997 Hoku Hanohano Award.
And then I heard this singing, this nice music, and I went over and it was him, and he didn't look like a singer.
Yeah, I know. He looks like a night auditor for IRA. Ladies and gentlemen,
called
Lovers and Friends.
Lovers and Friends.
Kimura.
Arita.
The 20th Annual Hoku Hanohano Awards is sponsored in part by Aloha Airlines, expect more, and by Saturn of Honolulu, a different kind of car, a different kind of company.
Getting to your flight can be an epic struggle, unless you're flying Aloha Airlines, the only airline that offers drive-through check-in, where they take your ticket, check your bags, and then check you in, all on the 4th floor of inter-island parking. So from now on, you'll be sure to leave on a good note.
We just sent our first Saturns to Japan. And as we celebrate our partnership with our friends in the East, we're offering what we call the 24,000 yen lease. Easily one of the most competitive around. And as you can see, 24,000 yen isn't all that much. In fact, it's a pretty swell offer. So stop by your local retailer. Give them a hug. Tell them you're happy we're going to Japan and check out the lease. It's easy. Just make sure they put the steering wheel on the right side. I mean, left side. You know what I mean, right?
She spent the last 8 years in a coma.
Tell me what your parents told you.
I can't remember anything.
On the season finale of The Sentinel, Ellison must protect a young girl with a deadly secret.
You want her to die?
A secret buried deep in her memory. A secret she will be kidnapped and tortured for.
You killed my parents.
A secret that could kill millions.
Picture an energy source so powerful that it can make nuclear arms obsolete.
The season finale of The Sentinel. It's the Voyager that had to happen. The encounter that had to take place.
Red alert.
Shields to maximum.
The revelation that will leave millions breathless.
Someone more powerful than the boy.
Prepare for the season finale.
They intend on destroying everything.
To end.
Get us out of here.
All season finales.
My God.
Star Trek Voyager.
Presenting the award for Single of the Year, please welcome 5-time Hoku Hanohano Award winner, Audie Kimura.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You know, the last time I went to work at highs like this, some people tried to order dessert from me, so I think I'm going to change before I go there tonight. Well, you know, over the years, I've been honored to receive this award several times, so I fully understand the commitment and achievement it represents. This evening, a new artist will have that special moment in Hawaii's musical history, and I share in the excitement and anticipation. For best performance on a single or extended play, disc or cassette, the nominees are Daddy, I Remember, Kimo Keli'i Holokai, Kana Entertainment. Kali'i Aloha, Wailao, KKK Lilinoe Productions. Molokai Slide, Ehukai, Starline Records. Smile, Kelly K, Cinnamon Red Records. We Are Only Human, Sunland, Lava Land Records. And the 1997 Single of the Year is Molokai Slide, Ehukai.
First of all, I'd like to thank God for, if it wasn't for him, myself and us wouldn't be where we are today. I'd like to thank my other half, Stormy, our kids, Yanessa, Aka, and Shacey, my parents that are now living in Cali, my mentor and big brother, Noli, my families, the Kaleos and the Senecas. We'd like to thank everybody in the Academy who voted for us. Also, we'd like to thank Ken and Melissa Makuakane, George Chun, Andrea, Cher, Tom Moffat Productions, Randy Sugata at RKS Studios, Tower Records, Temple Music, Uncle Piggy from RK Audio, and all our friends and families in Hilo. And I would like to thank these 5 guys over here, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have gained all this weight. And I want to send a shout out to Sudden Rush and everybody in P-Town. Hilo representing!
Thank you. I also like to thank the man above, and also my wife, Cindy, my daughter Ranelle, my son Roland, Glenn, my sister Rose, and also very important people, Renz, closing of White Mail, without Joe Keloha Reading Jays, KXXX, Chris, Skylark, Captain Craig, K-Big, Lloyd Lunga Keaton and family, and all my friends back at home. Love you guys all. Thank you.
We get a couple of more guys. I'd like to give a quick shout out to my daughters at home right now in the Big Island. Terry, Kane, Hua. Also my son and my wife who's sitting out there tonight. And also a spiritual inspiration for my mom and all my sisters and brothers, Clayton and Troy. I'm trying to think of them all. A big family, yeah? all of them. Marvis, Edwina, Irene, and Jody and all their family. Also, we'd like to give a big mahalo to arranging Brother Al Erub. He's out there. Brother John Chang, KPUA Radio, KHWI, Susan Chang, Aragaki, for the artwork that she did on that, tremendous artwork. And most of all, I'd just like to give praise to God and dedicate this to a very special person to me, is the late William Rodney Hanohano Kahai. This is for you, Dad.
Thank you. I'd like to send a special thanks to Mr. Brian Haya from the island of Maui. He did percussion work. Also, Mr. Clayton Mao for his guitar stylings. Also, KPOA, all the Maui stations, my family from Maui, Kaloia, Ke'au, and my fiancée, Shireen. Aloha, love you.
Aloha. First of all, I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for all the blessings he has bestowed on us. I'd like to thank him for all of this tonight. I'd like to thank, also send this out. Are you guys watching in Hilo? People on the Big Island, this is for you guys. I'd also like to thank the people of Molokai, to Brother Bruiser from Fiber, and also to Uncle Larry Helm, who couldn't be here tonight, and to the memory of Natalie Marie Noilani Helm. This is why we did the song, was for her, so that we could share the song with the people of Hawaii. We'd like to thank her and do this song in her memory. We'd like to thank all the radio stations, Billy V from KCCN, KINE, my cousin Tyron Nicholas, Graydon Kelly, and Ron Yasso, formerly of Ehukai. Brother Kaleo Cosme, who gave me the uke for doing our album. To Kihe Nahale'a for co-writing